Hey everybody, Tony back with another thought. Before I get to it, I want to say I'm sorry for being gone so long. Um, I know the last video I posted was about my brother-in-law passing away, and between now I also have moved to my new place and everything like that. Got a house, so that's all good. So the thought that I was thinking about was something that came up this week, and um, trust. And quote I always go with is from the Italian Job, is trust everybody, just not the devil inside them. And I think that means a lot. Um, Today or this week, I heard from someone who says you need to explicitly trust those people you work with and those in your friends and family. And why shouldn't you not have explicit trust for them and stuff like that? And my thought process is this: um, we don't even trust ourselves 100%. I mean, if you can't even trust yourself 100%, then why would you trust someone else that much? I mean, trust is something that is earned. And I do believe that there's a level of trust that we have for everyone at certain levels. Um, when I meet someone new, they have not done anything against me or for me that would make me to trust them or not trust them. But I do have a low level of trust with them, and that's where I generally think they would be an honest person, or they will have roughly the same standards that I think. Now, as the relationship builds, good or bad, between us, the level of trust actually increases or decreases based on what I have seen from them or what interactions we come across. But I want to get back to the ability of what having trust is. Trust is very important, and it's one of the things that will tear a relationship up more than anything else. Um, they say money tears a relationship up, but that comes down back to trust. Do I trust the person who's spending the money, making the best decisions, or are they taking my money, or I'm taking their money, or what? Um, Trust is even more than the foundation of love, because before you can actually really love someone, you kind of have to trust them. And the feeling of love will grow and change, but when someone betrays you, you have that feeling of, if it's a deep friend or a loved one, something like that, you might cut the trust down from what it was, the high 90s, down to maybe low 20s or something like that. Then you're like having to build that trust. But the problem is, when someone breaks that trust, no matter how much they do, no matter how everything goes well and stuff, in the back of your brain, you might have forgiven them. That's different than forgetting. I don't really think a lot of people actually forget a lot of things, because you can see it when it comes into an argument. Trust is always challenged by difficulties. It is really hard to be dependent on someone that you have low trust with. And it's even somewhat difficult to trust someone that you actually hold in high esteem, because you are also um, betting that they're going to come through without knowing what the outcome. Let's admit it, we're all human, we all make mistakes, and we can all fall short, not because of something explicitly what we don't want to do. We sometimes have circumstances that cause us not to be able to fulfill trust in a relationship and things. And I think the main thing that's problematic with trust is that we throw the word around way too much. And it is one of those things where we call people naive when they're too trustworthy, where they believe in establishments, believe in a relationship. When friendships are called into a trust where you have to say, if you don't believe what I'm doing right now, we can't be friends. And I think that is a low level of trust when you put someone on the spot to say, hey, it's either this or that. And I think there should be a flexibility, and we should be able to admit that we don't trust people. And another thing I heard about on the thing, we should be able to be completely honest with someone when we trust them. And I don't believe that is a pragmatic way of looking at it. I think that's too utopia. I mean, there's several people that I trust, even with my life, but I would not say certain things to them because I know, one, not to go there, because it may have been a sore subject that we've already talked about. Two, I do know that I'm imperfect and I'm going to judge another imperfect person. That's not going to happen sometimes. And thirdly, it might just be that I don't want to hurt their feelings. Now, I was told that not having those conversations can make you an untrustworthy person. Well, in a utopia, that would be true. If I did not tell you everything that's on my mind and I'm holding back something, I'm untrustworthy based on omission on there. But the question I always come back to is that trust is one of those things that has to be more organic, and it can't just be something that you do from like a trust fall or a 5-step program or just being friends. I mean, I have several different friends and they are in several different levels of trust. Some, and how that trust, it moves back and forth based on our contact and our experience together. Now, there's some people that have never betrayed me, but I don't have that much contact with them. Therefore, I don't trust them as explicitly as I used to when I had full contact with them. Now, there's people I have full contact with that have done something to me, and I still have low level of trust there. So, I think more to the point of what trust is this layer of what we want to do to connect with other people. And to connect with those people, we do have to put ourselves out there as they do too. But how much, that's where the gamble comes in. Because you could be going all in and they could only be putting in a portion of what they want. So, I mean, we never know what's in other people's minds. We like to think we know the person we're talking to or that we're with. I've seen relationships that have long been marriage for 15 plus years and they break up because the other person decided they wanted something different in life and they didn't talk to their partner about it. That thing grew until it festered into something that caused mistrust or betrayal to be happen in that relationship, which ultimately broke it up. There are a few occasions where you can get past that, but my general point of view is that usually when you break trust, you're going through the motions when you're with someone that you can't trust. I mean, there are several things that you can say that other people can do, but you never really get back to a relationship of full trust, except you're just really going through the motions. Yeah, you'll have the same stories. You can dance around the event and stuff, but I think what the conversation should have been about was how to build a level of trust that is in reality. How do we get past the point of where we had a break in the relationship, and is it possible to get to a repair part? But that wasn't the discussion. The discussion was you had to be fully 100% trustworthy of the people you know and you work with, you or in your family, or otherwise you just really don't trust anyone. And when you put it in that lens, I really, really believe that you can't trust anyone. Now, again, I believe in levels of trust. And I think there are certain levels of what we do trust and what we don't trust. And we can expand that past relationships. And that would be a whole nother video and stuff. But I just wanted to get your thought process. I know some of my ramblings are way off script and stuff like that. But, just a thought process again. This is Tony's Thoughts. Have a good one. Peace out.